All right, today we are diving into a philosophical text that takes a pretty radical look at one of our biggest fears. It's called The Cycle of Life, and it puts forward a completely different way of thinking about what happens when we die.
So, right off the bat, it tackles the biggest question of all, doesn't it? Is death really the final curtain? The absolute end? I mean, this is a question that has haunted humanity forever, shaping entire religions and philosophies.
But this philosophy hits us with a startling counter-argument. It says what dies is only the form of life, not life itself. So the core idea here is that death isn't an ending at all, it's just a transformation. The essence of life, that just keeps on going.
Okay, so how do you even begin to wrap your head around that? How can we reframe something that seems so incredibly final? Well, the text uses a few really powerful analogies to help us see death less as an end and more like a simple transition. Think about it like this. Your body, it's like a house that you're living in. And your life, your consciousness, that's you, the resident. Now, eventually, you move out. The house becomes empty. Maybe it even falls apart over time. But you, the resident, you've just moved on. And the answer is, well, of course not. Just because the house is empty doesn't mean the person who lived there blinked out of existence. Nope, they just relocated. And this simple idea is totally central to understanding this whole philosophy. And if the house analogy doesn't click, the text gives us another really powerful metaphor. It suggests our physical body isn't a permanent home, but more like a temporary vehicle. It's a boat, built for one specific purpose, to get us across the river of this particular lifetime. And once you reach the other side, you don't drag the boat along with you, right? Its job is done. You get out, you leave it behind, and you just continue your journey onward. In this view, life is the traveler, and the body is just the ride for one leg of a much, much longer trip.
So if life is this huge, eternal journey, what are the rules of the road? What are the universal laws that make it all work? Well, the text says the entire universe is actually built on just two fundamental, constant principles.
The whole theory really hinges on this one core concept, that everything we see and experience is just a mix of two basic, unchangeable things. And get this, they can never, ever be created or destroyed.
And this lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got energy. That's all the physical stuff in the world. It's the source of matter, and it just changes form. You know, basic thermodynamics. But then, on the other side, you have life. And this is described as a non-physical spiritual structure. And just like energy, it can't be destroyed. It can only be moved from one form to another.
So here's the really critical point. According to this view, the total amount of energy and the total number of life structures in the universe is always the same. It's a constant. The number never changes. So if a new life pops up over here, it just means an old one is transformed somewhere else.
This brings up a pretty obvious question, right? If life just moves between different forms, where exactly does it go? Well, the text actually provides a kind of cosmic map for this entire journey.
So we've got the what, this indestructible thing called life. But now let's get into the how and the where. What does this journey of transformation actually look like?
The philosophy lays out this incredible map with 10 distinct realms or states of being. This is the whole cycle of transformation. And it's a huge spectrum starting way up high in these blissful realms, then moving down through the human and animal realms we know, and even going all the way down to the plant realm and what it calls the underworld and these elemental layers. The idea is that every single life structure cycles through all of these forms over ages. Okay, so that's the grand cosmic theory. But the text also zooms way in, pointing to a really personal, really human experience that it claims is actually a little hint of this whole process at work. I mean, we've all felt it, right? That weird, fleeting sensation of déjà vu. That powerful, uncanny feeling that you have been in this exact moment before, even though you know for a fact that you haven't. Now, modern science might call it a little glitch in the brain's wiring, but this philosophy, it offers a totally different take. It suggests that feeling isn't a trick of the mind at all, but a genuine echo from somewhere deep inside.
A memory. A flash of an environment or an experience from a past life bubbling up to the surface. It's like a momentary bleed-through from your subconscious, which, in this view, is basically the archive of your entire eternal journey.
And what's really fascinating are these specific triggers the text says can cause these memories. It could be that instant, deep feeling of familiarity when you visit a new city,
or maybe a sudden, unexplainable gut feeling about how to handle a situation you've never been in. The text also suggests this happens more often if your previous life was also human, simply because those memories would be a bit more accessible.
All right, so let's pull all these threads together and just recap this profound, really different perspective on what it means to exist.
And honestly, there's a quote from the source that just nails the whole thing. Death is only a phenomenon. Eternity is the essence of life. What we see and fear as death is just a surface-level event. The true nature, the real core of life, is its unbreakable, timeless eternity.
So, at the end of the day, the core takeaway is this powerful reframing. Death isn't a final wall we crash into, it's just a doorway to the next stage. Life itself is this eternal, indestructible thing that's on a constant journey through countless forms in this unending cycle of transformation and renewal.
And that leaves us with one final, pretty powerful question to think about. If we really took this idea to heart, that this life is just one chapter in an endless book, how would that change our fears, our goals, and the way we choose to live our lives right here and right now?